Tazos. Every kid in the 90s had Tazos to collect. Tazos covered everything that kids in the 90s adored, from Looney Tunes to Dragon Ball Z. Tazos were one of the most awesome things on the playground. What made you even cooler was when you got that ultra rare holographic Tazo. Trading cards. Trading cards were huge back in the 90s, and even today they are arguably just as popular. But what really kicked off trading cards was a little show known as Pokemon. School kids everywhere wanted to become the greatest like no one ever was, to find that ultimate shiny card in every deck and trade them with their friends. This is mainly because not a lot of kids actually knew how to play the trading card game, but Pokemon cards were just as popular until Yu-Gi-Oh came out, causing kids to duel just about everybody to get all 4 pieces of the ultimate monster, Exodia the Forbidden One, that would end the game in your favor. Digimon, Tamagotchis. Straight out of Japan, this little digital pet taught kids how to be responsible for their own little pet, feeding them, cleaning up after them, and playing with them all in a digital space. Harmless, right? That is until Digimon came along and turned them into warriors that you could battle with your friends by mashing just 3 little buttons on a pixelated screen. The longer you looked after your monster, the stronger it got. How cool was that? Oh, Metal Greymon, how I miss you. Beyblades. Essentially a spinning top that had been around for years, Beyblade the anime made them cool again, causing kids to fart every time they said the catchphrase, "Let it rip!" Just kidding, but seriously, what was up with that catchphrase? Power Rangers. No surprise here that a bunch of spandex heroes would be super popular for children, that the show is still running on TV today. The days of kids pretending to master martial arts, imagining epic grass explosions in the background and yelling the signature line whilst doing a crazy dance. It's morphin' time! Oh, Power Rangers, how cool you were. Not only were you awesome, but made every little boy experience their first crush on the pink Power Ranger, Kimberly. Oh, just me? Well, this is awkward. Game Boys. What else did kids get up to when they weren't running around? Playing the Nintendo Game Boy, that's what. When I wasn't trying to work out how to play Tetris properly, it wasn't until Pokemon busted out on the Game Boy where you could finally become a Pokemon master and catch all 150 Pokemon in the palm of your hands. Of course, this number became 151 and then almost doubled by the time Gold, Silver and Crystal came out, but it was cool to be able to link your Game Boys together and battle or trade with your friends. Lunchtime Snacks. There was one thing that stood out in the 90s. It was lunchtime snacks. Everything from Dunkaroos to LCMs. School lunches never looked the same, nor did they fail to taste so good. That is until parents realized that the food in their kids' lunchboxes wasn't actually that healthy. Anyone else craving a fruit roll-up right about now? Scented stationery and making notes. Before every kid got their hands on a mobile phone, the only way we could talk to each other was through folding notes well enough that we could chuck them at each other from the other side of the classroom when the teacher turned their back. But what made it even more special was being able to smell the scented ink on each individual note. Strawberry, my favorite. Video game mascots. Video games had a lot of mascots back in the day, and the 90s is when they rose to the top of their popularity. From Mario being more defined to the creation of Sonic the Hedgehog, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro the Dragon, the 90s were a golden age for video game heroes and mascots. It's a shame that they aren't still around. Crash Bandicoot. TV shows. Well, better to top off this list than mention all the top TV shows we had in the 90s. Let me take you back to a place where Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney had decent quality cartoons and shows. Back when Rugrats, Rocket Power, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Darkwing Duck, and Doug are all what made up our childhood. And of course, these are only just some of our childhood shows. Then there were the two shows that brought all our childhood shows to us on our weekdays and Saturdays. Waking up early for Saturday Disney, where we could watch Doug, Kim Possible, and even Aladdin the animated series first thing in the morning. But one show stood out like any other. One show that brought us our childhood daily was shows like Pokemon, Digimon, Dragon Ball Z, Card Captors, and Sailor Moon. I'm talking about Cheese TV with Jade Gate and Ryan Lappo Lappin. So many memories of that show. It's a shame it got cancelled. Cheese TV. That's all for this top 10, but let us know in the comment section below what made the 90s special for you. And for more awesome top 10s and awesome other content, be sure to stay here, right here on Neo Air.